Welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, you're welcome.
The referee looks at his watch. Any second now, it will all be over. 30 seconds by. Now watch that the Germans are going down and they can hardly get up. It's all over, I think. No, it's... And here comes Hurst. He's got some people on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now. It's four. And Charlton. And the players bring themselves.
Welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new, you're welcome. Just want to make this video, but not feeling too good at the present time. I've got a head cold and flu and stuff. But as I said, this new match of the day situation between Mr. Tim Divvy and Mr. LINEKER is going on a bit too long, because extra time may be needed. I don't know, but anyway, the match of the day, that's what it is. It's going to be Gary. He's never going to back down. So, you know, as I said, I've got my Lemsip and my Lintus. As I said before, with Gary, you see, he's a bit of a loose cannon now. What can you do with somebody who is not willing to back down? So it's a match between these two particular people. If you've got a contract of employment and you break them by doing some advertising as well, you know, you're not supposed to really advertise if you're a presenter on BBC and stuff. I'm not sure you're allowed to advertise. So, Gary, you know, all these things you've been doing, there's lockets, I need some lockets, there's my advertisements, you know, I'm doing that. And of course, Gary, you've got all the bloody crisps at your house, all the bloody crisps. Can't get any Walker's crisps anyway, you've got them at your bloody house. So he's got a special case, Gary, because he gets away with, whether they stopped him making Walker's crisps adverts, I don't know, or whatever. But anyway, the thing now, it's between these two particular people. What does he do? Does he ring him up and say, look, Gary, you've got to stop doing this and stop doing that? And of course, he's just saying here, I'm never going to be silenced on my view. So he's a bit of a loose cannon. So decisions have to be made. Now, whether you agree with this or not, it's just a football pundit guy. Nice fella, nothing wrong with the guy. You know, he's got a job at BBC. He has his mates come round and has a chat about football, the game, say Man United are playing somebody tonight, Liverpool or whatever, and they have a chat about things and whatever, and it's all entertainment. And match of the day has to be come on because of 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock or whatever it is now. I've not watched it for years. But you see, with match of the day, it's to showing other things that people couldn't watch, like on Sky. Because if you haven't got Sky, you don't watch the Premier League matches, all the top games. But the BBC has an obligation to show all these matches, highlights, just highlights. And of course, that's what it's about. And of course, if I want to have Sky, and to watch football, which I do while I watch football, I have to go to the pub or I have to go to a friend's house to watch it, because I have to pay a TV license to watch Sky. I have to pay a license, as well as the Sky subscription, I have to pay a license fee. And this goes towards Gary's wages, wherever £1.3 million is on a year. Now, that's not the point. If BBC want to pay somebody a certain amount of money for doing a job, fair enough. That's what it's all about. But it's just a highlight of the games. And, you know, he's got a nice job and well paid. Now, of course, he's got a, whatever you think what he's doing, fair enough. That's not the point. It's the point between what you say in private or whatever on your media platforms, and you're working for a company who's supposed to be impartial, and everything else on anything to do with politics or the association with the government. Because it's not actually state television, but if you don't have a TV license, they come round to your house, like I've told you, or, you know, if you don't want to pay, you do what I've done, you become legally license free. That's it. You're not watching, you're not paying. So this has become an issue, not over just Gary now, it's become an issue of the authority of the BBC management getting involved with politics and everything else, a lot of things. So I don't think it's going to happen overnight. The two of them are going to sort it out. Gary's going to come back and say, I'm sorry, but he's not going to say that, I don't know. People may have better apologise or whatever. We don't know. But the point is, it's gone on and gone on. And, of course, the match now is in extra time. Because if it keeps going on, you know, what management can't do anything to discipline this guy or whatever, anybody in the BBC disciplines, you know, they have to have a management sort of to run a company. It's got to be a company that you can, you know, have principles and say, well, you know, you break the rules, you've got to go. Now, I think myself, I think Gary's looking for another job somewhere else. He's realised Match of the Day's on a sinking ship, and he said, well, he may have done this totally for his own benefit. I don't know. But, as I said, I don't know. You know, whatever. It's done and it's dusted now, but it needs a solution to the problem. And as long as it goes on, the BBC are going to be in more and more lumber. I've just got to have a drink now because I've got one more advertisement I've got to do. Oh, yes, one more of my commercials. Oh, Lucozade. Yeah, I'll have to have a drink of this, you see. So, Gary, you know, whatever happens, you know, it's up to yourself to sort of sort it out. And if it can't, obviously, it's going to go on, and it goes on too long. But anyway, I think the match of the day tonight, you know, the preview is going to be between Gary and Tim. That's what it's going to be. Who's going to win? Who's going to be winning? Is it going to be extra time and penalties? We don't know. What penalties is Gary going to get? Is he going to miss one of these penalties again, like he does? I don't know. Or is he be goal hanging around like he normally used to do, and then have a end of the match goal or something like that? We don't know. But anyway, it has to be resolved. I'm sorry I can't do. I don't feel too good enough to do anything. As I said, I'm pretty rough, and I just gone out to get some cough mixture and stuff like that, and I'm just feeling pretty rough. But anyway, folks, that's up to you what you think. Leave your comments, and thanks again for everybody who's tuned into the channel. New subscribers, thanks very much. And of course, things have to move on, so it may be a thing that, you know, if they pay him off and before we've forgotten about and everything else, and they'll start a new match of the day, because everything changes, and of course they could save costs and everything else, because BBC are a sinking ship, as simple as that. Like this Argos over the road here, there used to be Argos there. They've moved now. They've moved. Everything moves on in life. Go somewhere else and whatever. So Gary probably be working for Sky shortly, or BT or something like that, you know. And he'd probably get paid double the amount of money he's getting now, maybe £4 million a year. And good luck to the guy, you know, because that's what it's about. It's entertainment. If you want to pay somebody a certain amount of money, you know, that's up to you. It's a contract of employment. And if he's broke the contract of employment by doing some advertising and stuff like this, you know, stuff like that, or he's turned down jobs where he could make more money, I suppose, he'll say, well, you know, I'll move on. And I don't know. It's a saga that's got to be ended, and we're in extra time at the moment, and I think it's got to come to a conclusion shortly. Otherwise, you know, it's just a joke. It becomes a joke. Anyway, folks, like I say, thanks again. I'm sorry I couldn't do one in the studio today. I was really feeling pretty rough. I've had a bit of fresh air. Going to get some medicine, get my medication, and hopefully feel a bit better and do some more and see what happens tomorrow. Because, you know, it's got to end. It's got to end, because I said before, one way or the other, it's got to come to an end, and somebody's got to make their mind up what they're going to do. Is he going to back down? I'll never be silenced. All the rest of it, you know, that's up to Gary, and it's up to the BBC to sort of come to an agreement. Anyway, folks, thanks again. I will see you in the next one. Bye now.